Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today I did a thing so you don't have to. I bought a fake Chanel perfume. Now I actually didn't do it on purpose for the sake of this video, but I kind of knew what I'd done straight after I'd ordered it or paid for it. And I thought, no, let's just let this happen. And then I can show you. And I still held out a little bit of hope that maybe what was going to arrive wasn't a fake, but it was. Anyway, I'm kind of being a bit vague. So I will tell you the story. On eBay, I watch stuff. I watch a lot of stuff with not necessarily the intention of buying, a lot of it. Sometimes I see things and they're quite cheap, and I think maybe that looks interesting. I'll watch it and I'll research it a little bit later. And then what happens is I get a notification there's 15 minutes left, and I think, no, I don't need that. Or sometimes I think, oh, that's quite interesting and the price is still quite low. And then I've got this clock ticking, 15 minutes to research, depending on, of course, on what I'm doing. So you can't just drop everything all the time. And on this occasion, instead of saying, oh, I don't really know what that is, I'm just going to leave it, I did a little bit of research, which came up blank. I couldn't actually find the thing that I was bidding on, but I still just bidded on it just to see. And then I did a bit more research, and then I spoke to my friend Valentina, and she had suspicions straight away by looking at the eBay listing, and she actually got in touch with a lady who is a bit of a Chanel expert, and this lady said that's definitely a fake. Tell her to cancel the order. Anyway, it was a bit too late, and I thought, well, do you know what, I'm going to let it arrive. I know that I can get a refund if it is a fake, and it is. so first of all, I'm going to show you what I've bought here. So it's supposedly a duty-free thing. So the post says it came from duty-free, and that's what it looks like. Up the top here, I don't know if you can see it, that's supposed to be a Chanel lipstick. And this, any Chanel expert will know that it's not in existence. This is a 100 milliliter bottle with a sprayer. And the label is the label that Chanel use for their Allure Pure Parfum, which absolutely does not come in 100 ml bottles or a sprayer bottle, as far as I know. There might be a 35 ml sprayer. I saw a tester that was 35 ml, but most of the extracts are 7.5 or 15 and dabbers. So, and I could see the sprayer in the picture, but I didn't know what size the perfume was. They didn't say. And I knew that I found, before I won the bid, I did find out that this is the label that's on the Pure Parfums. So I'm thinking, if it's a big Pure Parfum and it's real, then I've got an absolute bargain. I paid about 50 quid. And if it's fake, I'll get my money back. So it is fake. And what we're going to do, we're going to look at all the details of the box and the bottle in a minute, so I can point out all the reasons why it's clearly a fake. I do think that anyone will be able to tell this one's a fake. I think it's quite bad, but you might find something of use to you here to help you if you have something you think might be fake. But first of all, we've just got some tips to help you avoid doing what I've just done and buying a fake. So take your time when you are looking at buying something. Don't wait for that. If you really think you're interested, don't wait for that 15-minute notification like I did. Then you don't have the time to do all the checks that you need to do. So take your time when it comes to buying anything secondhand. But obviously we're talking about Chanel today. Zoom in on the photos, look at all the details, and we're going to go into what things should look like shortly. Review the feedback. And make sure the product exists, because this product does not even exist. Chanel never made something like this. You can ask questions of the buyer. If you've got enough time, you can ask them questions. So for example, if you can't see a batch code in the picture, Ask them to confirm the batch code on the bottle. Does the batch code on the bottle match the batch code on the box? You can ask them where they got it from, why they're selling it. You can check the batch code on Cosmetic Check. There's a couple of websites you can check batch codes on. Check Fresh is one and Cosmetic Check I think is the other one. So you can check that the batch fits the look of the bottle. So obviously bottles and packaging changes over the years. If you're looking at a more vintage stuff, you want to make sure that the bottle looks correct for that particular batch code. And a really great website for vintage hunting for perfumes is Raiders of the Lost Scent. I highly recommend it. It's really helped me to figure out what certain things are, and I would suggest that if you're going to use it, Google Raiders of the Lost Scent, but then put in your perfume as well, because the site itself is a bit difficult to navigate. I don't think there's a search bar, not that I can find. So for example, Google Raiders of the Lost Scent Chanel Allure, and then it will take you where you need to go, and you can see what bottles look like over the different periods. And you can also go and get fragrance advice from your fragrance friends. So if you know fragrance people, you could always send them the link and say, what do you think of this? And get other people's opinions. You can put it in Facebook groups, and as I said already, you can do research on blogs, etc. The good thing with eBay is buyers are protected, and I don't know if that's the same on other selling sites. So you would want to check the policy, etc. if you're using a different selling site, but generally eBay do look after the buyer over the seller, in some cases unfairly prejudiced, looking after the buyer instead of the seller. So if you are buying on eBay, you're almost certainly going to be covered if you buy a fake. So there's just a few tips on how to avoid buying a fake. And then let's look at my fake that I bought. And I mean, it was kind of obvious as soon as I looked at it. So this box here, that writing just looks shit. The font, I don't know, it just looks, it might not come off on camera very well, but it doesn't look right. And then it doesn't make sense. Like at the back there's this sticker with a price tag, Chanel Beauty gift set, £110. If this was an extract, I can't imagine it ever would have been that lower price. And obviously the sticker is for the extract, so it can't have been anything else. So let's get into the box. So it came with this lipstick, right? This is a really schoolboy error here. So it's come with this allegedly Chanel lipstick, right? But check out the other end. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it just says 01 makeup lipstick. So it actually says around the, I'll show you, there. So it says makeup lipstick, and then in brackets, colour or type, colour on type. So obviously it's some sort of generic, very cheap brand, and they were supposed to put some type in there, and they haven't bothered. The lipstick itself is pretty gross. It's like an orangey red colour, very, very dry, no scent to it. So that's clearly not Chanel. But let's go into the bottle, if I can get it out of here. So I happen to have a genuine, although it's a tester, I have a genuine Coco Mademoiselle Eau de Parfum Intense here. So it's 100ml, same size as this. So let's start with, what did I notice straight away? The label just didn't look good. I think I've seen other fakes where the label is not centre. It just doesn't look good, and I'm sure if I Google and try and find this exact label, I'll be able to spot obvious issues. But for me, it just looked a little bit cheaply done. But the clear, obvious sign that there's an issue here is there's no writing on the back. So on the back of a proper Chanel label here would be like on my Coco Mademoiselle here, there is writing. And you can see that the reverse of the label is completely clear, perfectly done, whereas the reverse of this label is a bit blotchy and patchy and it's not been done very well. So there's a couple of issues. Then we have the cap. The cap on my Coco Mademoiselle is weightier. It's sort of nicely, it's plastic, but it's weighty. And this one is mostly gold with white around the top and the bottom. And there is one Chanel CC logo there. Now when we look at this fake one, it's lighter, it's quite obviously lighter. It's cloudy, just doesn't look right. I know, yeah, doesn't look right. This is white with gold around the outside, and there's no CC's initials anywhere. Inside of the cap looks different as well. Inside the Chanel, there's some sort of raised bits that seem to mean something. I don't think you're necessarily going to pick up on it, but if you have two side by side, you'll definitely see. Sprayers, that's our fake, got two different colours, so that colour there versus that colour there, not good. Whereas obviously my Coco, they are uniform. I think the actual hole for the sprayer, I don't really notice a major difference with the holes for the sprayers. The bottle itself, the glass, is a different shape. So, let's try and show you. So the glass outside the edge of the fake, this one, is thicker all the way around, and the bottom is thicker all the way along, whereas with the Chanel it's more curved, a little bit curved in the middle and then not so thick. So they are definitely different. On the bottom there is no sticker at all on the fake. On the Chanel we have a sticker. On the back there's a batch code, and I've checked my batch of Coco Mademoiselle, it's from 2021, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the camera, and I can't see it in this light, but it's etched in the bottom of the glass. I really don't think it's gonna come up, but trust me, it's definitely there. There is no code anywhere on this, no batch code whatsoever. Inside the bottle, you can see the spray where the sprayer is, and you can see the wire inside the sprayer, and the sprayer itself, the top plasticky bit, is a bit fat. Whereas in the Chanel, it's much more elegantly done. You can't see the wire inside the sprayer. Sprayer just generally inside looks a little cleaner and slimmer, less visible. There's probably lots more things that are wrong here, but they're all the things that I've picked up on and noticed. And we haven't even talked about the smell. Let me go and get the tester strip. I'm not going to spray this again. Now this surprised me. This actually smells quite good. And it's not just disappeared. So I sprayed a test strip earlier on today, and it smells bad when you first spray it. And when I say bad, it smells cheap. It smells like the sort of thing you'd smell in a chemist. So a little bit too alcoholic, and that alcohol kind of hangs around for quite a long time, and you can feel it sort of burning your nasal receptors a little bit. Not really burning, but you can feel the effect of a solvent inside your nose for a little while when you're smelling it. And then eventually it smells like a perfumey, floral, floral citrus kind of perfume that's not bad, but probably quite cheap. But what I'm really surprised at is once it's had time to dry down, when I picked it up earlier, the other test strip that I sprayed first, it was over on the sofa, and I picked it up and thought, right, that's the one that I sprayed earlier. Let's just see what it's like. And it smelled like Ylang Ylang Nosy Bee from Paris Monte Carlo. And I was like, no, that can't be right. And I thought, oh, I haven't sprayed that down here on a test strip for God knows how long. So this must be the right one. But I had to do it again because I couldn't believe how good it smells. Not good right from the start, but once it's had time to settle, it's definitely an Ylang Ylang vanilla scent. It's like the Paris Monte Carlo's Ylang Ylang Nosy Bee, watered down by about 50%, and just generally a bit more watery. So it's not as thick and rich and dense, but it actually smells quite good. But of course, it's a fake product. Who knows what's in there? It literally could be, and I think we all know this. Fake perfumes were tested years ago. I remember it being in the news, and they found things like urine and was it battery acid, or I don't know, but nasty chemicals that you definitely don't want to put on your skin. So you absolutely, if you do find yourself in possession of a fake perfume, please don't put it on your skin because you don't know what it is. Fair enough if it's a dupe that's being sold legitimately as, you know, as a copycat kind of thing, that's different. But what we're talking about here is an illegal fake product that's completely unregulated because they're breaking the law just by producing it and selling it. But I've got to give it to whoever did this. They've put a really pleasant fragrance in there, and I'm so surprised because when I got a fake Miss Dior going back a year or so, I posted a video about that, so I'll link that below because it might be useful. When I got a fake Miss Dior, that smelled a little tiny bit like a Miss Dior but watered down, and then it smelled like Isoe Super, mostly like just this white woodsy type scent. It was clearly not a good fragrance, nothing like Miss Dior. Now I actually don't know Allure well enough to know if this smells anything like Allure. I've only smelt it in shops probably once or twice, and I smell a lot of stuff, so I have no idea what the original Allure smells like. But there's no Ylang Ylang listed, and I can guarantee this is an Ylang Ylang scent. So they haven't tried to copy Allure. They've not put a copy of Allure in here. They've put an Ylang Ylang. I think there's more florals. It's Ylang Ylang, maybe jasmine, maybe a little touch of clean musk, maybe a touch of clean woods. A very nicely put together perfume, apart from the opening, which was quite bad. So that really surprised me. I was not expecting the perfume to actually be fairly decent. But it's a fake, we don't know what the hell it is, so it's got to be disposed of. But I thought I would share it with you because I'm hoping this will be useful. There are other videos out there on the internet about fakes and how you can, you know, look for them. So do all your research. Just make sure you are sure before you make a complaint, because I have seen people on the Facebook groups who are well trusted in the fragrance community selling things on eBay and being accused of it being a fake because it doesn't smell quite the same as the person remembered. And of course there's such a thing as reformulation, and when you have a bottle of perfume for a few years, it ages, it's deeper, it's darker than a more new bottle. There's loads of reasons why a fragrance might not smell quite as you remember it, but you want to make sure for sure it's a fake before you make a complaint, because that's not very nice for the seller. If you know, if the batch code looks good and the bottle doesn't look like it's been tampered with and everything looks good, it's probably not a fake, but it's just the fact that it's been reformulated or there's batch variations, all of that kind of stuff. So I think when it comes to identifying a fake, you really want the physical things that you can communicate in an email, and just saying it doesn't smell how I remember it is not really evidence-based, whereas it doesn't have a batch code is definitely evidence-based. That's just my 2 cents worth. Anyway, that's all for now. Let me know if you've ever bought a fake, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in another video. Bye!